Ambassador Keelan stood before the Galactic Council's scientific assembly, his human frame dwarfed by the towering crystalline forms of the Vextar and the floating biomass of the Qureshi. The amphitheater hummed with 1,000 different frequencies of laughter, a sound that transcended species but carried the same universal meaning: mockery. "And so," High Arbiter Zixtal announced, his voice resonating through every translator in the chamber, "the humans propose that their quantum field theory and general relativity should replace our 70,000-year-old understanding of the universe." Another wave of multi-layered laughter rippled through the assembly. Keelan's jaw tightened, but he maintained his composure. Humanity had been part of the galactic community for only 15 years, a blink of an eye compared to civilizations that had existed for millennia. Earth scientists had been eager to share their discoveries, only to be met with condescension at every turn. "Our models work," Keelan said quietly, his words amplified across the vast chamber. "They predict phenomena your physics cannot explain." "Phenomena?" Counselor Vrathix, a methane-breathing Crolian, bubbled with amusement. "Young species, we have mapped the stars for epochs before your ancestors crawled from the primordial soup. Your theories are quaint approximations, childlike drawings compared to our elegant, unified cosmic mathematics. The Council's physics had served them well. Their FTL drives, their energy shields, their planetary engineering, all of it based on principles they considered absolute. Humans, they believed, simply lacked the cognitive capacity to grasp the deeper truths." "Then explain the Dark Meridian anomaly," Keelan challenged. The chamber fell silent. The Dark Meridian was a region of space where Council ships vanished without explanation. For 3 centuries, it had been deemed impassable, a natural barrier cordoning off a quarter of the galaxy. Their mathematics offered no solutions, so they had simply accepted it as a cosmic wall. "Some mysteries," Zixtal said carefully, "are beyond even our understanding. It is no shame to acknowledge limits." "It's not beyond ours," Keelan replied. "Our quantum chromodynamics and loop quantum gravity models predicted exactly what's happening there. We know how to cross it." The laughter returned, harsher now, tinged with offense. A Vextar scientist, her crystalline body flashing with irritation, stood. "Impossible. We've lost 47 expeditions to that region. Your species proposes to succeed where we have failed?" Keelan activated the holographic projector built into his podium. Complex equations materialized in the air. Feynman diagrams, Calabi-Yau manifolds, tensor calculations that seemed to dance and fold into themselves. To the Council's eyes, they appeared needlessly complicated, almost baroque in their convolution. "Your physics treats spacetime as continuous," Keelan explained. "Ours recognizes it as quantized at the Planck scale. The Dark Meridian is a region where quantum fluctuations in spacetime geometry create what we call a foam. Your ships tear themselves apart because you're trying to navigate it with classical models. It's like trying to sail the ocean without acknowledging that water is made of molecules." "Preposterous," Vrathix declared. "If spacetime were truly discrete, our instruments would have detected it millennia ago." "Your instruments were designed based on your assumptions," Keelan countered. "You only see what you're looking for." "We built our detectors differently." 3 months later, the ESS Hawking approached the Dark Meridian. The Council had granted permission for the human expedition, with barely concealed anticipation of failure. Aboard were 50 human scientists and engineers, along with a handful of Council observers who had volunteered, more out of curiosity than belief. Captain Maria Santos sat in the command chair, watching the viewport shimmer with the strange aurora that marked the boundary of the Forbidden Zone. Beside her, the Qureshi observer, Fluxnall, pulsed with what she had learned to recognize as nervousness. "Engaging quantum field compensators," announced Dr. Yuki Tanaka from the engineering station. "Adjusting shield harmonics to match predicted space-time fluctuation frequencies." The ship shuddered as it crossed the threshold. Council ships that had entered this region had sent back screaming sensor data before being torn apart by forces their science couldn't comprehend. But the Hawking's readings remained stable. The quantum compensators hummed, creating a bubble of stabilized spacetime around the vessel. "It's working," Fluxnall whispered, a sound like wind through hollow reeds. "By the ancients, it's actually working." The journey through the Dark Meridian took 18 days. The human crew methodically mapped the region, identifying safe corridors and documenting the quantum phenomena that made conventional travel impossible. On the other side, they emerged into unexplored space, an entire quarter of the galaxy suddenly accessible. The transmission back to the Council Assembly was historic. When the Hawking returned, the reception was markedly different. High Arbiter Zixtal personally greeted the crew at Orbital Station Prime. The amphitheater was packed, but this time there was no laughter, only stunned silence and the beginning of something that might eventually become respect. Ambassador Keelan, Zixtal said, his voice stripped of its previous condescension, the Council formally requests that Earth share its complete theoretical framework. We have much to learn, Keelan smiled. Our scientists are already preparing the materials. But I should warn you, human physics gets weirder from here. Wait until you see what quantum mechanics says about the nature of reality itself. In the months that followed, human theories revolutionized galactic science. The Council's elegant mathematics, it turned out, was a special case of something deeper and stranger. Quantum computing designs from Earth increased computational power 1,000-fold. New FTL principles opened routes thought impossible. Medical technologies based on quantum biology extended lifespans across dozens of species. The young species from the small blue planet had done something unprecedented. They had rewritten the fundamental laws that governed galactic civilization. Not through military might or economic dominance, but through the simple power of being right. And in the great archives of the Galactic Council, where the history of 10,000 species was preserved, a new entry appeared. The year humanity taught the cosmos to question its assumptions and proved that sometimes the newest voice in the room has the most important thing to say.